This seems this seems inexcusable to me. Am I overreacting? My doctor sent me 3 months worth of Keppra refills that I've already paid for and bought home, but they're the wrong dose. I would be going from 3,000 milligrams daily to 4,000 milligrams daily. We never discussed upping my dose. I don't want to up my dose as I don't tolerate it well. I pointed out to his nurse and the doctor himself that my dosage was incorrect in my chart every time I've been to their office. I've been told over and over they fix it, but never have. I messaged my doc to tell him what was going on with the meds, and he just told me to cut the pills into quarters and take 3/4. This just doesn't seem right to me. Am I overreacting? The first comment says, go get a new neurologist. This is simply because of sloppy internal organizations. But from you guys, does she seem to be overreacting?
1,000% no. My neurologist straight up told me, like, because when my dosage got up, um, she was like, okay, so don't use those like pills anymore. Don't cut them. And because I went from 500 to 750, so in my mind, I was like, oh, I can use those and just cut them in half. Like, no, 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 no. The the chemicals are different. Like as you go through the pill, it's not just all one thing. So that's a horrible idea, and they should get a new neurologist.
I assumed all the pills are just like made in a pot, just some powder, and then they stamp a pill and a bunch of pills, but that's not it. They make them separately.
Well, it's like you have two sides to the pill, so that's why they're meant to be taken as a whole. Especially when you have like if you have the long term or the slow release ones.
Extended
Um,
release.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Like, sorry, I pointed this way because on my screen you're to my right. Um, um, yeah, like you can't mess with your pills like that. That's why it, I know I got questions about like I've been dissolving mine, but I'm drinking the entirety of the pill at once, not taking, you know.
Yeah, I remember you said that. Drink it instead of take it. I thought about it, but I just
It
never got
just
to it.
yeah, I don't know. I started doing hot water for it. It helps the pill dissolve faster. It basically just like falls apart in the water. And when you have a big pill and you're like, I don't know, trying to do your morning thing, like get ready for the
I
day.
think you're frozen, Brandon.
Am
Or
I?
am I frozen?
You're not.
Oh,
Am I am I good?
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, but like I would go to like take my pill as I'm like trying to like run out the door for work. Um, and just it's a big pill. I try and take it. It gets like it doesn't go down right, and then all of a sudden I'm like puking it up when I have like 2 minutes to leave for work, and it was really annoying. Yeah. Also, I've
So the
noticed
hot
when I do,
water,
huh?
did the hot water work? Were you able to get it down with that? Could you like
Oh yeah, hot
put
and cold.
put a
It just
bag of
dissolves
tea in it
faster.
or something and like essentially like roofie yourself with your morning medication kind of thing? And
And I wouldn't want to add the flavor. When you
oh,
dissolve
ooh,
the
yeah.
pill to the hot water, it just kind of tastes like I don't know, like bitter
Pill.
water. You know,
Yeah.
it's not great, but it's not like I don't know. When we were all of us when we were kids, we drank water from a hose once or twice, right? Yeah. It's just like bad tasting water, but it's fine. I do like the pill water and then like juice. So I boom boom.
The good chaser.
Yeah, it's yeah. chase her some orange juice or something, you know.
Yeah. Anyone else advice to this person? Are they overreacting? How do you feel about that?
No, but I have a question for Brandon. Brandon, you said that Mark was on the right on your screen.
Oh yeah, for me it's Pookie top left, me top middle, Mark top right, Melissa underneath Pookie, Angel, Jeff and you, Liz, Annie and Saya down bottom.
Well, my screen is totally different. I didn't realize
Yep.
Mine
it
too.
can work like that.
Mine's all over the place. You guys aren't where he said.
Yeah,
Do they
I'm not.
stay in the same position on your
No,
screen, Brandon?
No,
no, occasionally, yeah, we've all noticed that people will kind of bump around sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pookie, you
Okay.
don't control that.
It's the
No.
Brady Bunch.
You guys are moving on point and you're not like skipping or doing anything that you're not doing on other people's screen, but yeah, you're in different places.
It looks
I
like the
really
Brady
like if they
Bunch.
could just stay in the same spot.
Right.
Know where the person is, know where to look when they start talking, rather
It
than
gets
having to find
confusing.
them in the, yeah,
Eh, I mean, we're all just doing this like looking at a laptop, so our eyes are going like from here to here to here to here. You know, it doesn't
yeah.
really matter.
So, about that person, I don't say they're overreacting. I wouldn't say go get another doctor, but talk to that doctor and yeah, talk
I
to
Help
them
would
that
about
think
doctor
it.
that
be
they
better.
should get I think they should get another doctor. Because if they can't even figure out how much medicine this guy needs, what else are they not figuring out? It's like the whole, and they said they've been doing this for months now. That's just ridiculous, in my view. I would, I would try to get a new doctor.
I would get a new
It's not,
doctor and also inform the doctor before getting a new doctor why you're getting a new doctor because they need to be better at their job and they need to know that like they're losing patients over this and that's not a good look for any doctor but also like I don't know where they're from but if they're like in a smaller town area or something like and their doctor's getting that review it's not going to look good.
One
Yeah,
of the
but
Don't you
comments
think
is
also?
if they're in a smaller town though, it, not everybody has the luxury to shop around for a doctor, and even when they do, it's not necessarily a guarantee that they would find somebody better than they already have. There's always the bell curve, and there's always going to be somebody to the right of you. There's going to be someone to the right and to the left of you, wherever you are, always. So, you know.
I guess if we could take the expression "old boss always sucks until you meet the new one" and say "old doctor always sucks until you meet the new one." So
The other
Yeah,
thing is, we're hearing, only their perspective, and maybe they didn't hear what they wanted to from the doctor,
yeah.
and
I was thinking
not
that.
really what happened.
I thought that same thing. Maybe we're hearing one side of the story. Sometimes we tell one side, I know how that goes. Um, Someone here says cut the pill in quarters. Not a doctor, but cutting them in half, maybe if you needed 2,000 milligrams. But quarters seems bound for errors in the dose. I'd never accept that from my doctors. I'd vote not overreacting.
Yeah.
Someone else said, it's so hard to find a good epilepsy doc. I would hesitate to jump ship. First thing, I would ask the pharmacist if it's okay to cut the pills into quarters to get the right dose. Next thing, I would ask the office manager to help you get the dose error changed on your chart once and for all. Thirdly, I might ask for a different anti-seizure med if you don't tolerate Keppra well. If the doc can't work with you or finding a better med, it may be time to jump ship. I was told earlier to avoid doc hopping if at all possible. I did have to eventually, but have learned a few tricks of the trade along the way. Good luck. Hang in there. Never give up. LT, LE, Excopri, lamotrigine, and cannabinoids. Okay. It's another one.
That's a
Definitely
really
time
good
to-
point that they made with the asking the doctor or double checking, confirming anything that the doctor, any directions that the doctor gives them about the pill, like confirming it with the pharmacist, especially like when it's splitting, quartering, stuff like that. Um, it just goes to, what Brandon had said, that a lot of times these medications are made with like a time release mechanism that depends on the pill being intact as it goes through the digestive system. Um, and a pharmacist would know that about whatever given pill that they're taking. So if they have doubts about the doctor and his competency, the pill could be a good test. Um, if the pharmacist confirms that splitting that pill is not safe, is not a good way to get the result that the doctor wanted, then that's definitely a proof that the doctor you know, needs some educating. I don't know. There's probably a better word out there for it, but I'm gonna stay with educating.
I guess it annoys me also that when the doctor's saying, oh, cut a quarter of it off, it's like, okay, now you're asking this person to then the next day cut the next pill in half, take two, like, tiny halves, or like one quarter piece and a half, and then the following day they have to cut a quarter off, and it's just this like weird, like, why are you making us do the math when you could just do your friggin' job right?
Right.
And
Love
the
Brandon.
dissolving that you do, though, that you said is a good solution, though. If you've dissolved your pill into, you know, a cup of water, you can easily measure out 3/4 of a cup and, set that other quarter aside
uh I
until
don't know,
dissolving next days.
I guess I wouldn't trust that because you don't really know how much of the you know how it's still there's still sediment in there,
Yeah, the pill
so
filler binder
yeah, so you
binder.
don't know like how much of the actual medication you're getting, based on just like if you took one sip of it, you don't know how much of the meds are in there. That's why you got to drink the whole thing. Um, so I wouldn't want to like measure it out in the hopes, if you were to actually like cut and then dissolve, then that's different. But I don't know, that's just getting way too technical for just getting the correct medication.
Yeah, the doctor should just provide the correct
And
information and
yeah, exactly.
medication from the start. So,
Yeah, we might have a mother coming in soon. I believe she said she has a child who has epilepsy. I think his name is Pookie. Um, anyhow,
And she call him Sunshine.
Angel,
Whoa, another Pookie? This is wild.
only she can call me Sunshine. Anyhow, I got some questions for her. Good one. Ready. So next question would be, never been diagnosed with epilepsy. Had second seizure of my life yesterday. Question related to driving. I'm a 29-year-old male. I had my second seizure of my life yesterday. What happened is I was sitting in the back of the work truck. My boss was driving. His wife was in the passenger, and all of a sudden I get a wave of anxiety. My neck tightens, apparently. My body stiffened up and started making growling noises, but my brain went offline. I didn't remember doing any of that. Anyway, when I was being released from the hospital yesterday, the doctor mentioned that I shouldn't be driving for 6 months. That is what I'm most bummed out about. How am I going to efficiently get to work, go to the gym, get groceries? I just feel like completely disadvantaged now. What would happen if the police pulled me over? As far as I know, my license is not suspended. So this seems to be legal gray area. I'm in the city of Alberta, Canada, with awful public transportation too. If anyone has been going through anything similar or has any thoughts, let me know. This was a few days ago, so this person sounds like they might be new to epilepsy, and I don't suggest driving if you're watching this. I don't suggest it. I say you listen to that doctor. Yeah, if the doctor says don't drive, I wouldn't second. Well, I was going to say I wouldn't second what the doctor says, but some of the things you got to second. But driving, he says doesn't drive. He probably has a good reason.
Yeah, there's a whole legal framework behind the doctor saying that it's not just for, kicks and giggles.
Yeah, if the doctor said don't, you should. And yeah, it it might cause a ripple in your time hole, you know, but think of the other side. What might it do to other people on the road if you have a seizure on the road while driving?
Also, public transportation might be better than they think it is if they haven't used it a lot. It might not be quite as bad. You know what I'm saying?
I was
It might,
thinking of saying that. How much have you actually taken it? Because
yeah, because it might not be as bad as they think it is, or they just have to adjust to like having to wait instead of just getting in your car and going.
yeah, because out near where my mother is, um, there is public transportation, but she is out there too. So there's public transportation. You might be able to get to where you need to get, but being on those buses, bunch of smokers and tweakers sleeping on the buses for the whole route and stuff, I didn't like it. I'd say they had good transportation. I can say that, but the experience on that transportation, you'll get there, but that's what you're dealing with. So
Yeah, transportation isn't fun. But if I was forced one of these days to have to take it, I would much rather do that than drive.
right. Yeah, see you know what I'm talking about. Those buses are horrible. They're dirty. We'll not talk about those dirty buses. Got another one here. We'll go through the comments. This one said, "What would happen if the police pull you over?" I'm scratching my head with this one. Don't you mean to be? Don't you mean to be asking what would happen if you had another seizure while driving? If the ethics of it aren't troubling you, then you can consider the fact that your insurance would no longer cover you. It says that clearly in the comments. Someone else said, fellow Canadian here. First one was kind of a scare. They did all the tests and it looked fine. So they said could happen to anyone and I shouldn't worry. 6 months go by and I have a second. Right on spot, my license was taken away, as well as I was unable to work as I do a high risk job. They put me on meds that worked thankfully. And after 7 months with no issues and more tests, I was given back my license and was able to get back to work. Someone else says, I'm confused. How is it a little gray area? Yeah, right. Someone else says, I live in the city of Alberta. I'm also not allowed to drive for a while. I have a valid license. I could drive if I wanted to, and it would be legal. A cop wouldn't arrest me if I got pulled over anyway, but it would be careless and selfish of me to get on the road until my neuro is confident that my medication is working. You will get used to it. It would be a huge dick move for you to drive right now. I'm all for that. Another one says, well, no, this is a new post. Says, I got fired because of my epilepsy. Everything in the title. Everything is in the title. I got a job in January, right after I was diagnosed, and 2 weeks after I started work, I had a seizure at work during my 4-month probation. Then they fired me saying that I was too risky for them to keep me because of my epilepsy, and I think it's unfair. I cannot do anything like getting a lawyer because during my probation in France, they can fire you at any time. Now I'm afraid to find another job because of it. The first comment says, find a job where you don't have a probation period, I guess. But I still assume there are anti-discrimination laws in place to stop things like this. Then again, I don't know what France's laws are like. I stopped working. Personally, that was family. That was just like, you got to stop working. But yeah, I don't know if you can, if you think your body can take work and do what you got to do. But I don't suggest it. Anybody else? And I don't suggest driving. So
Well, you injured yourself at work, so it was clearly a need to stop.
yeah, that part too. Yeah. If you don't know, I put my arm in a deep fryer and it was about elbow deep. And we got this, if you can see it. So the doctor said I shouldn't work, and then my family suggested I shouldn't work, but then disability, they decide, yeah, you're not bad enough to not work. That's what disability says. Hello, Jocelyn. How are you today?
Hi, I'm good.
The icebreaker today is, when was your last seizure? What medication you were on? And when were you diagnosed?
My last seizure was June 6th. I was on topiramate, 50 milligrams, and I was diagnosed like in May, I think. Yeah.
You
And
scared
then
me when you came in because I seen the J and my
I'm
mother.
sorry, I think I'm logged in under my work Zoom.
No, when I seen the J, my mom's name started with the J, so I was like, oh, shit, there she is.
I'm definitely not your mom.
Thank you. But sorry I cut you off.
Oh, that's okay. No, I think that's it. I've now been double dosed on the topiramate, and they gave me the emergency medicine of Klonopin.
Okay.
So,
hey, Toaster, how you doing? The icebreaker today is, when was your last seizure? When were you diagnosed and were you taken?
Well, okay. Easy one first. What am I taking? Right now, I am on Depakote and Xcopri for the seizures, Ambien and Seroquel for just sleeping in general, which the Xcopri helps with. I love that part. And then just the vitamins with the B12, I guess. I'm still taking the B12. I had my last seizure was not yesterday, but the day before, and it was just the focal. I haven't had a tonic-clonic, and I don't know. I'd have to check my seizure diary for that one.
It's all right. So I gotta go back.
Oh, when was I diagnosed? Now that's the story. You see, I started having my seizures in high school, but they weren't diagnosed as such. They were diagnosed as panic attacks.
Well, nice. That sucks.
Yeah, I about 10-ish years ago, I went out to Nevada. I had a stint in Vegas, and those are just stories in of themselves. And I got pregnant. And then in the waiting, or not waiting room, in labor, I had a seizure. And then I had another seizure during labor. And the doctors were like, she has epilepsy. And that's what started the medications for it. So that's how I got diagnosed. I'm feeling mortality. Oh no, Ozzy. Moment of silence for Ozzy.
Oh, wow.
I know, sorry guys. First it was,
No.
yeah, I mean, it was hard enough yesterday finding out about Theo. Help me out. Yes,
Malcolm Jamal.
yeah. I, and now this. I'm like, okay, now I'm feeling old. Okay, now I feel old.
Everybody is dropping like flies.
I made
And I
Well, I
haven't
was-
even flown around yet.
I made a comment on an Instagram post a few, like, I think it was like a month and a half ago. Of it was a video of someone pranking a guy, by telling him that Ozzy was dead,
No.
and he was an older guy, and he was like, "World's fucking over. It's done. Everything. There's no fucking point anymore." And I commented on it being like, Ozzy's never gonna die because he has enough drugs in his system to keep his dead body moving past death.
No, that's
And
Keith
then-
Richardson. That's Keith Richardson.
That's Keith.
But they said
Yeah,
that
Keith
about
Richards.
Iggy Pop.
Yeah, Keith Richards is holding that now. No.
I can't say that Ozzy was my favorite, but I do know what it's like to lose a favorite musician. Jimmy Buffett is about 2-3 years gone now. And when that hit, it hit like, oh my God. One of his last songs is called Bubbles Up. And Bubbles Up is honestly, you can tell it was his goodbye to the world.
My
I
great aunt.
remember where, sorry guys. I remember where I was when they announced Chris Cobain. I was on my way to school. I had to pull over. I showed up at school and we're all sitting in lecture looking at each other. Our professor shows up and she's like, all right, a moment of silence isn't enough for this. I'm going to give you all the day off because
Good one.
his music meant so much to so many people. And for the deeper philosophical mind, it meant even more, you know, but that's the nature of music. But yeah, Kurt
My
Cobain.
great aunt said that the one of the only times that she's ever seen my grandfather cry was the day that he found out that John Lennon died. I was like, okay, well,
Enjoy the bats.
He wasn't the only one.
So, yeah. So I got another one here. We can all give an answer to this, and it's very long, so you guys kind of listen to it. It's somebody asking how to support their significant other. It says, "Hi, I'm new to this. I joined this because my partner of 6 years has epilepsy, and I really want to understand it more deeply than just the doctor Google presents me to. Everyone is so different, is so different, and reading all the varying experiences allows me to get out of a black and white thinking spiral, and maybe share anecdotes with my partner to support him as well, so he doesn't spiral either. The past Wednesday, he had 2 grand mal seizures after being 4 years seizure free. One I witnessed in the hospital and one earlier that day that nobody witnessed, presumably in his bed. He spent Wednesday asleep in the hospital basically, and Thursday at home in a fog. Friday, he described feeling more numb and still weak. He was still a little forgetful, but not nearly as much Thursday. His appetite has been very slowly coming back, but his energy and motivation is still low. Saturday and yesterday, he was experiencing a lot of anger, anxiety, and depression. I'm under the impression, based on pretty basic research I've done this week, that all of this is very normal and to be expected after such a huge stress on his body and brain. He's back to work today. The reason he had breakthrough seizures is because he hasn't been totally consistent with his meds. He's feeling angry at himself for not being consistent, anxious about having another seizure, and depressed about being dealt this card. Why was I born this way? Type sentiments. I told him if he stays consistent now with his dose, he doesn't have to worry about the seizure, and that I've seen him have seizures now. I know what it looks like and what to expect, so I won't be as panicked as I was seeing it in the hospital. I have a plan for if and when it happens in the future and we're together, but I really want to be able to help and support him as much as I can, aside from being there with him in his silences and when he needs to cry, or doing my best to assure him that it's just recovering and he'll feel himself. Try again. His body is back to baseline. Is there anything I can say or do to help him more? Thanks in advance." The one part I was thinking that she said, I wouldn't say taking his meds is going to stop him from taking seizures. So don't say that. That's one thing you do not say. Medication is not going to stop you from having seizures. I took my medication for weeks in a row, and I've had 3 seizures this year. I don't think I've missed a dose. If anything, I've double dosed because I thought about if I undosed, whatever the case. But you guys, how would you tell her to handle this man, this young man? I don't even know if he's young.
I would say props for trying to look out for your partner, and trying to continue to understand it and everything, and trying to look for the best for them. So, good job on that. Secondly, with the meds, some meds come with different surprise checks in the box, and you gotta be ready for it.
That's you, June.
You gotta be ready for those surprises, and some might be you're always sleepy or tired or anything. And one of the other things that they have to be ready for is memory issues.
Another thing I had to say is you gotta expect. You don't know what to expect these days, but
guys, Toaster is dying here. I'm so sorry. Toaster is literally about to have an aneurysm. Let's.
Oh,
I can
What
see it on
is
your
going
face.
on? What are you doing?
What am doing?
She's
I'm
been
pacing my
raising her
room because
hand for like
I'm
5 minutes.
hyperactive right now.
I'm sorry, Toaster. You're kind of at the bottom, and I was just throwing that in there. I'm
okay.
sorry I cut in.
I'll have what
So-
she's having.
So she's
Go ahead, Toaster.
You want to know what I'm having? Okay, sorry. I went off on a tangent a little bit earlier. This is what I'm having.
Oh, nice. Share the wealth.
Place near me sells them for $25 for 15. And that, if you know gummies, you know that's a good damn price. And they're high dose.
Yeah, I see. 25. Nice.
Now, what I want to say is actually something that Angel brought up a while ago. You are never going to know when that volcano is going to blow. Yes, I am paraphrasing with Jimmy Buffett too, but you're never going to know when it's going to happen. And having one is not a failure. So she needs to know that it's not a failure on her part, and it's not a failure on their part either. And yes, definitely the memory issues. We are pretend that you have a walking, talking goldfish. Yeah. And now my bubble is burst.
With me, I'm sorry for cutting you off because I forget so much that I have my laptop here. I just type everything so I go when everyone's done. And I have all my stuff down. So someone else want to go? My only thing is I was gonna say, yeah, I forgot what I was gonna say. Oh yeah, I found out about like the random pains once everyone told me that their shoulders are coming out of place and stuff, and I've been having that. So I think I went through that most recently. Everyone's talking about the shoulders coming out, and every day I've been going like this, and it pops back in, and then a few hours later it's again, and over and over.
Have you ever fallen asleep and then woke up with your shoulder out of place?
And I woke up at the hospital with it like that, and a bunch of those
Yes.
sticky things all over my chest. But so far, that's the first time, and it surprised me. And I was like, "Oh, I know what this is." I learned
Yeah.
everything. I learned a lot from you guys. So yeah. So now I knew what
The
that
vid-
was. I
The
was looking
nanny
like,
cam. Man, I got it. I'm sorry, Pookie. I got it. The nanny cam helped me get my shoulder surgery date because I was sound asleep, literally sound asleep, and my shoulder popped out. It's called subluxation, not dislocation. And I'm like, oh, download. And I'm like, okay, hey, Dr. Stanton, what does this? And he went, oh, fuck. And yeah, I mean, to hear doctor, I love it. I'm like, yeah, right. Can we fix this?
oh yeah. There's gonna come random pains with it. He's gonna cry. I did a lot of crying. Still do a lot of crying. Shit happens. Yeah, it's gonna be a
Well,
rough one.
I just wanted to say that I hope that he can just be kinder to himself and like, because it just sounded like there's a lot of frustration coming out of the poor guy, and like there's like, I know that he was born, we're all born with these things. Like I was born with a hole in my skull, and like there's nothing you can do about it. Like, and I just hope that he can just forgive him, like I don't know if it's forgiveness or what, but like be kind to himself and learn the patience or whatever it is. Like it seems like all of us have gone through the whatever it takes to get to this place of acceptance, and I hope that he can get there. That's it.
Okay. Mark, you got something for us? I love Mark's answers.
I am very sorry. I mean, especially after you saying that, but there was a cat fight standoff like actively happening right here next to me while you were reading this. So I have no idea at all what this question is what you're asking about.
Yeah.
And I'd hate to make you reread it all just for me. So,
If everyone else
hoping
doesn't mind, I don't
hoping
mind.
to try to sit it out, hide over here, but you saw I was still here. I don't know.
I don't think
Uh,
everyone minds if I read it again because we got Kate now, we got Raven, and Mark who didn't hear it. Basically, someone asking how to support their partner. She said, I'm new to this. I joined this because my partner of 6 years has epilepsy and really want to understand it more deeply than just what Dr. Google presented me. Everyone is so different, and reading all the varying experiences allows me to get out of the black and white thinking spiral and maybe share anecdotes with my partner and support him as well so he doesn't spiral either. This past Wednesday, he had 2 grand mal seizures after being 4 years seizure free. One I witnessed in the hospital and one earlier that day that nobody witnessed, presumably in his bed. He spent Wednesday asleep and in the hospital basically. And Thursday at home in a fog. Friday, he described feeling more numb and still weak. He was still able, he was still a little forgetful, but not nearly as much as Thursday. His appetite has been very slowly coming back, and his energy and motivation is still low. Saturday and yesterday, he was experiencing a lot of anger, anxiety, and depression. I'm under the impression, based on the pretty basic research I've done this week, that all this is very normal and expected after such a huge stress on his body and brain. He's back at work today. And the reason he had a breakthrough seizure is because he hasn't been totally consistent with his meds. He's feeling angry at himself for not being consistent, anxious about having another seizure, and depressed about being dealt this card. Why was I born this way? Type sentiment. I told him if he stays consistent, now with his new dose, he doesn't have to worry about a seizure, and that I've seen him have a seizure now. I know what it looks like and what to expect, so I won't be as panicked as when I seen one at the hospital. I have a plan if and when he has one again in the future, and we're together. But I really want to be able to understand and support him much as I can. Aside from being there with him in his silences and when he needs to cry, or do my best to assure him that he's just recovering and he'll feel like this again once his body is back to baseline. Is there anything I can say or do to help him more?
Wow, they want to do more than than what they're already doing. That good on them. That's pretty
Right.
incredible, I say. Um, I mean, that much effort that they put into it, trying to learn about all, different types of seizures and different presentations is so much more than like the average person, average, partner, friend, whatever would put into it. So, I mean, good on them. I hope more are out there like that. Um, as for advice for helping, I mean, I'm I'm impressed he's back at work already after 2 back-to-back grand malls in a single day. That's pretty horrible. I don't really have much of any advice, maybe um I don't know, just get some like his favorite takeout place or something for him before he gets back home from work. Just, make the day a little bit better. But really, it's more of like a personal relationship type thing. What would do him the most good? Not really a seizure thing anymore at that point. Um, it sounds like he's pretty well taken care of by his circle.
Well, keeping that in mind, though, I mean, the partner is definitely putting forth all the effort possible. I don't know how to best say. I mean, what stood out to me was when she said to what else about once he starts taking the medication, right, the seizures will stop. I don't want to say don't get your hopes up. That doesn't sound like the right way to put it, but
Right.
be a little more realistic, especially with staying on the same page, because it's so much more devastating from experience when you and your circle feel like this is the solution, you're all set, these seizures are done, and yeah, not doesn't work that way.
Yeah, that's what I said. I think telling him that taking his medication is going to stop his seizures. Your medication it's not going to do that. It might help you not have as many. To each his own. Some people's bodies, you got to know your body. It might help them, it might not, but I don't think you should tell someone that. Just you never know. Yeah, and hello, Mom.
Sunshine, hello, family.
You're Pookie's mom?
Started
Yeah.
sweating. I thought you guys noticed.
Well, I did. I just thought you were my Pookie's mom.
Oh.
You are like the best person on the planet because he is. I know that makes no
Thank you.
sense, but it makes sense to
Thank
me.
you for giving birth to such a wonderful human who has helped so many people.
I am so proud of him, and it's so nice to meet you guys. I'm glad you guys have this platform so that you can talk about what you're going through, because for a long time, Danielle thought he was like the only one going through what he was going through, you know?
Oh, Mom, you're gonna make me cry.
The same way too, and Pookie created this, and he brought us all together.
Yeah, see, everything happens for a reason, you know?
Absolutely. We can all agree on that, second those opinions. And just so you know, this platform does actually help people every single day. We've met some new people today, new families that are getting the resources and the attention and the information that it will take to actually make a difference in early treatment and diagnosis and you know, helping these 20 somethings get back on track. And that's all thanks to Pookie bringing us together.
Yes, it is. God is good, ain't he?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Everything happens for a reason, and timing.
Yes.
Timing. There's
Well,
nothing not divine about the timing that occurs today. I'm 900 miles away from where I live and happened to meet this family in the dog park that happens to have, you know, recently diagnosed with epilepsy. Just had to stop his college career and you know, only chances of a career that he had going and in boot camp to be a corrections officer, and they kicked him out for the epilepsy. And now he was really lost today. Showed up at the dog park with a little chihuahua or something, and just happened to jump on the meeting when it first started. So again, God bless.
Wow.
Yeah, and we had someone's mom join earlier. She was a mom from the UK, and that's the first time we had a parent join. I mean, a parent that like could tell about the experiences and stuff.
Right.
Yeah, I was excited that a parent actually wanted to know. Like, not many people want to know about seizures or want to talk about seizures. Yeah, so yeah, I don't have people who want to talk about, oh, I had a seizure today. This is how I felt, and this is what's going on.
So that's why this is a good platform, because all you guys know what you're going through. You guys have the same experiences. And to me personally, I think it's a little insensitive, you know, when you want to talk about things. That's where mental health come in at. You know, I tell people every day, all the time, for a long time, mental health is real. And call and check on your people sometime, just to be like, you know, how you doing today? You know, you want to go out to eat, or just, you know, something simple. Even if they're not close, just call. You know, that call really makes a difference for a lot of people, whether you know it or not, sometime, you know. Yeah, I'm glad you guys got each other. I'm just so happy.
That's some
All
beautiful
because
advice.
of your son.
Huh?
All because of your son.
Yes, yes, yes.
But you guys, come on.
So Raven and
You're
Lynn, I
very
see you
proud.
got a guest.
So
Did Raven
Raven,
already introduce her guest? Okay, yeah, there you go.
hello, Raven. And Raven's dad, I'm assuming.
No, that's my husband.
Oh,
Thank you.
I'm sorry
That's
for
okay.
assuming.
It's okay. It's fine. I'm Lynn, and I'm glad to be here with your group tonight. Thank you.
No
Hello.
problem.
Hi,
Glad to
Lynn.
have you.
I just wanted to show him the group.
Awesome.
Okay.
Lynn.
We can move to the next post. I got something here. It says, partner won't accept diagnosis. My partner was diagnosed with epilepsy 20 years ago, well before I ever met him. He doesn't talk much about it. His family won't even say the words epilepsy or seizure. It's like a dark, shameful secret from my partner that he tries to ignore. Each seizure upsets him because it puts him further away from being seizure free. We have been married for 10 years. I recently bought a car and he hates it. Although I completely understand why the car is upsetting him, I suspect most of the issue stems from the fact that he never came to terms with his diagnosis. He's never grieved for what he's lost. He's so amazing and can do so many things, but he can't see that. He just sees himself as broken. Can I help him accept his epilepsy, or do I need to support him in his choice of coping? He takes his medication and goes to all of his appointments. He just pushes ahead, hoping the next medication will be the magic cure, and then getting so upset when it isn't. This doesn't feel like coping. It feels like avoidance. It breaks my heart to see him striving toward a goal, driving, that seems impossible to reach. I suggested talking to a therapy and adamantly refused. Can I help him accept his diagnosis, or should I just let him go off the hope that he will accept it?
I think both of those are good points.
I don't suggest driving.
No.
Don't work towards that goal. I don't want to
learn that from experience, huh, Sunshine?
Yeah. Anyhow.
I used to tell my son all the time, son, don't drive. Oh, I'm fine. I haven't had a seizure in 6 to 8 months, but his memory is so bad. And I'd be like, son, you had one like 2 weeks ago. Well, one day he decided he wanted to drive and going across the bridge. Thank God they was all the way on the other side of the bridge. He hit the medium, the
Center divide.
The divider thing, and totaled the car. But everybody was fine, thank God.
Yeah.
But he
You're
learned.
lucky you got out of that one.
Yeah, he hasn't driven since then, I hope, right? Not to put you on the spot, but you know.
Oh, this is the best meeting yet. Just so you know, this is the absolute best meeting yet. This is one that we're all going to rewatch. So thank you absolutely for your presence.
Yeah.
Now, another thing on
you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
That
So
is
to
awesome.
add to that point though, the driving is unrealistic, but it sounds like the denial is still the phase that maybe the son or the loved one, whoever they're posting about, is in. So you can't necessarily present it to them in a way that you can make him believe it or understand it, but maybe show him like a more positive alternative. Instead of driving, I know these are the medications you're on. There's this surgery out there that might help you control your seizures better without so many medications. So, maybe just kind of steer his energy on all that regret, basically, is what I remember feeling, shortly after these life changes had to come into effect. It was just a lot of regret. Like, I did something to cause this. So I wish I had done something different. I wish I had lived different and this never occurred. But if you can find a way to redirect their energy, that just kind of negative outlook, onto a more positive goal, or a real attainable goal that's not driving, then maybe they'll kind of come to terms in their own time and still make progress in the meantime. That's kind of what I wish there had been more encouragement for, like a positive, realistic goal at the beginning.
Yeah, Mom, this is a group of great people, and they've helped me get through some weeks of time where I'm alone in the general circle outside of you, because we video call every day. Hasn't
Right.
been as supportive, so I'll leave it at that. But these
I-
people here,
I'm glad you have this new family because being alone can be depressing. Sometimes, you know, you have to. Whew, I know this from experience, you know, but you got to do things. You guys can't really do too many things depending on what kind of seizures you have, you know.
any seizures I don't suggest, but hey, go ahead, Mom.
Yeah, I worry about you a lot. I'm glad you got that bracelet. Thanks to whoever got it for him. I'm so appreciative. And thankful.
I got it.
Yeah.
Shout out to Angel.
Shout out
to Angel.
Shout out. Thank you, baby girl.
So, oh my.
My memory is really messed up. I forgot what I was talking about because I'm at this new park and it just looks amazing. I'm out running errands. So probably I'm gonna have to cut loose when my guy comes out of the water department, but he's still in there.
You're
But,
in the right group. We always forget what we're talking about.
Awesome sauce. That's cool. I mean, well, you know that's not cool, but you know that's cool.
It is cool. We find it funny. So
I like that. This park that I'm at is oh hey Killer, what's up, Killer? Hey. I see you. Okay. Have a good one. What is this? Adventist Health. Adventist Health is throwing up these parks everywhere. Let me see if I can show you guys. How can I turn my camera around? Is that it? No, that ain't it. Well, I don't think I can. Huh?
There might be a little thing. If you're on your phone, there might be a little thing on the top of the screen with a circle.
Look for the circle with the
two
one arrow.
It has two arrows. It looks like a little camera.
Yeah.
Ooh. Yep. Now you can see Ginny. Now you see me.
Top left corner, Mom.
Oh, top left corner. I don't got my glasses on. Oh, I do got my glasses on. Still can't see.
Hey, we all wear glasses.
But if you look from the camera, you can kind of see they got the little water park thing over there. It's so cool. They got the amphitheater over there. Got a little stage right there. It's really nice. But
Yeah.
Adventist Health is throwing them up everywhere in the valley. It's really nice.
My mom's a big talker, you guys. There's nothing wrong with that, Mom. But I'm gonna move forward, Mom. We got some other stuff to go through.
Move forward. Let's go.
One more Pookie story.
Say that again, Angel.
Said we want more Pookie stories.
Boom. Okay, I got something. I'm sorry, Mom. I might take you back a little bit. You might cry, but I'm gonna bring it out of you real quick.
Okay, let's go, Sunshine.
So everyone here, they had like, I'd say, very traumatizing stories about how they ran into their epilepsy and how it came about and all that good stuff. And some of them didn't get diagnosed and all that for ages. But I didn't have that traumatic story of how I got my epilepsy. I mean, I had the traumatic story of how I got it, but I didn't have to go through all the drama and trauma and all that to get it. I woke up some weeks later and wondering why I was late for school. But you could possibly go through how you felt when all that happened. They read the newspaper article, so they know pretty much of everything and drugged the 40 car lengths and all that. They applauded you for putting the backpack under the jacket They was like, your mother's brilliant, you know, saved me. I'm here now. That backpack and jacket worked.
I actually have a question for your mom.
Yeah.
Because yeah, we did read that story, and all I could think of was, holy fucking shit, how did this mom not break down into pieces hearing your child was just in a car accident? Car accident? He was biking or
Yeah.
like, walking.
He
How did
was
you
with,
not break down into pieces?
Oh, I did. He was with 3 of his cousins. The oldest child was 13 years old. So it wasn't like, you know, he was just 5 years old out there by himself trying to get to the bus stop.
Supposed to ask the question.
He told me when they got to the middle of the street, he could see the front of the car raise up, which means the lady pressed on the gas. You know, if you could see a car raise up, that car is going pretty fast. You know, his shoes were in the middle of the crosswalk. He was down the street. If it wasn't for the people outside, she would have kept going and my son wouldn't be here today. When they told me that was her, it was like, that lady, there she goes right there. Excuse my French, but I almost took her life and beat the hell out of her. They told the police, told my family and everybody that was out there, you guys don't calm her down, she's gonna wake up when her son wake up, because we're gonna knock her out. Woo! But son, you did go through some stuff because you were 5 going on 6. You had a depression going on. You had 6 pins in your leg. You had to get it cleaned all the time. And then when you went to the doctor for them to clean them or, you know, readjust them or whatever, they would twist them with no pain medication. I want to punch them doctors in their fucking face, you know? And they'd be like, calm down. He's fucking 5 years old. What the hell you mean calm down? He twisting these pins in his damn leg, you know? But God got another plan for him.
There is a if you don't mind me going a little religious on you, there is a Jewish saying that he who saves a single life saves, scripture puts it down that he saves a nation. Your
Right.
son has saved a lot of lives.
I'm so proud of him. I'm so proud of you, son. I really am.
Yeah, I did not know these stories, Mom. I didn't know about a lot of this story you just told. As the first time I heard it.
Yeah, you was depressed. You cried all the time. You couldn't understand why you had these pins sticking out your leg. You know, you was in a wheelchair for a long time.
Yeah, I
They said
remember the wheelchair.
they said he was in a coma for 32 days. They said, Miss Collins, we just, you know, want to inform you that, you know, your son might not wake up. He's in a really bad state right now. He had tubes coming out his head, out his mouth. It was just the worst sight ever. And then you want to know the even more effed up part? The police gave me the lady's address. They gave me that lady's address.
Is she still alive?
That I know of, she is.
There, Annie just said the entire thing for all of us. Oh, fuck.
Yeah, because of me. You know, but that I know of, she's still alive. And if I remember correctly, I think he can sue this lady again because the lawyer that he had on top of that ran off with his money. He got disbarred and he over in Africa some damn where living a damn life. With everybody, because I'm sure Danielle wasn't the only one that he took their money, you know? So that's a whole nother story. But yeah, we gotta find him, get my son his money because he's been waiting. He's be 36 years old in August.
Wait, August? Okay. Danny, when's your birthday?
Yeah, the 24th of August.
I am 9 days younger than you.
Oh,
Wait,
I mean, older than you. Sorry, older.
the 24th? Mine is
Older.
the 21st.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
I'm supposed to get off the phone because my guy is coming. We supposed to get in the car. I'm not going to be able to hear you guys. But we
It's
need
great to see you, Mom.
Oh, you'll see me again. I'm gonna start popping up on you guys. We need to put something together to where we could have a meet and greet in whatever state that might be.
I thought about it. We'll
One
talk
day.
about it.
Well, who was it?
All right.
Kate? Was it Kate who was saying with the timeshare thing?
Yeah, we got some timeshares going. So there's a whole network of locations, and I'm loving these places that, you pay 10 times the taxes, but they got parks on every corner with amphitheaters, with meeting places, with convention centers that you got a right to just use. So, personally, a lot of us are on the East Coast. So,
Back in later.
All
all
right.
right, it was lovely meeting you.
Lovely meeting you too. Love you, Sunshine.
Love you too,
Good to
Mom.
see you, Pookie's mom.
Bye bye.
Okay, I want to meet Liz and Lynn before my dad calls me to dinner.
Liz is going to be later.
Oh.
Oh, well, I want to meet Lynn.
Oh, there it goes. This is Lynn.
Hi.
This is my guy. And
Is your mic off?
I think it's working.
Oh, you're good.
Yeah.
Hi.
Yeah.
The video
And
paused, or like frozen.
he's
How did you feel when you first discovered her epilepsy?
How did I feel?
Yeah.
To be honest, like scared as fuck, because
Fair. Very fair.
one of my childhood friends, one of the few friends I had in elementary school, was epileptic, and I don't think I've even shared this with you.
You haven't.
And he would have seizures. And I don't like, since then, I hadn't been around that many seizures. And when Raven started having seizures, they were little bitty ones.
Mm-hmm.
And I was likely in denial, thinking, okay, they're just little ones, and they don't count the same as my childhood friend who'd be flopping around on the floor, or when at a music festival, my mom who was a nurse, would go and put an oral screw in someone's mouth to save their lives. So they seemed small, and I was very much in denial about what they were.
That is very, very big of you to admit. I'm sorry. Just watching someone's significant other admit, yeah, I was in denial and things. Sorry.
No,
My
that's
heart
okay.
is.
We love you for that.
Oh, thank you. Love you too. Love you too.
Well, and Raven. Oh, sorry. Actually,
go ahead.
Quick little segue. Like, Raven, how did it feel like finding that out about his childhood friend? It seemed like you didn't know that.
Yeah, I didn't know that, but it doesn't surprise me because, yeah, I think his reaction was sort of like, well, they're just little seizures, though, right? And I mean, I kind of feel that way still, even myself. Well, they're just little ones, but
So when Stephen was his name, and he passed a few years ago, he stopped taking his medicine and then drank a lot and felt, I believe, that he was either just over it or that he was above it. And attending his funeral, this is 7 years ago, maybe, those who were closest to him, I felt like they enabled him in his self-loathing instead of lifting him up. And so I guess the way I feel now, and we haven't talked about this at all.
No, we haven't.
I'm
recently diagnosed.
Yeah, she's recently diagnosed, and all I can do is do my best to comfort her and lift her up. That's it.
Good. And good right now, you're supporting her, you know?
You're here.
I mean,
Yeah.
there's nothing else I can do. I can't fix it as much as I would love to. And there's a myriad of other disabilities, but like with this one, all I can do is try to be here. And if I'm not home, to say, baby, I'm sorry you had a seizure. Are you okay? That's it. That's really all I can do. And I can't be codependent about it. I can't fix anything. All I can do is just do my best to support her.
You're a good man, Lynn.
That was an absolute 10 out of 10 response.
That was
No,
beautiful.
no,
Thank
better
you.
than that.
Beautiful.
That was so
That was
sweet.
a 20 out of 10 response.
I appreciate your guitar in the background there.
Oh, thank you. Where's Mark? Mark, where's your bass?
No, I got a guitar and a bass and a piano over here. We can have a jam session.
I did see your guitar in the background earlier, and Mark and I were already joking about having a jam session, so absolutely hop in.
Oh, that's nice.
But you guys
Oh,
have
yeah.
to play louder.
Wait,
There
hang
you
on.
go.
Mark, I also had a question. That's like a super long neck bass, right? Like that's not a normal length. That thing is so long.
I think maybe you're small.
I don't know. Maybe Mark is really small. I don't know.
This one or the one you saw last week?
Oh, maybe it
both?
was the one I saw last week. Okay. Yeah.
Guys, size doesn't matter.
Stop it.
Oh, that's a different one. That is a different one. Okay. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I mean, they're both big. I think the other one, I think they both have 35-inch scales,
We lost Danny.
but the other one is, it may look a little bit shorter because it's 6-string and this one is 5-string. So it kind of looks extra long.
Brandon, I'm sorry for calling you small. It's like Mark seems like he's about 6 feet, maybe taller. When I look at you, you seem like a 5'8", 5'7" tops.
Oh, you were so close. 5'9".
Oh,
Damn,
yeah. See?
you were so close.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, I didn't mean to call you little because you're a guy. That can be kind of, I know how that feels. Actually, I haven't been called little because I'm 6'2", but yeah.
I am the exact average size for a male in America, so I am okay with that.
And once again, Annie brought up the correct sentiment of shut up about size.
We're killing
So-
Annie.
Oh my god, yeah, Annie's losing her mind over
Hey,
there.
everybody, I'm terribly sorry. That was my fault. That was my fault. I brought in a sexual
all.
innuendo. And
Bro, we all do it on the first
I
meet.
thought it would
I
be
promise.
funny.
I
It was
promise.
funny.
We
Second,
all
and
do
the
it
lighthearted,
on the
and
first
fourth.
meet. Nobody laughs at first, and yeah, that's the part I remember too.
I caught it. Yeah.
It is not unappreciated, I promise. So the next thing that I had on one of these posts was a really surprising interaction listed between rosemary and anti-epileptic drugs, AEDs. So this is, obviously a really popular herb. A lot of people use it for a lot of natural kind of healing remedies. It says some research indicates that rosemary, particularly in the form of essential oils or in large amounts, may lower the seizure threshold and potentially trigger seizures. So anybody with epilepsy, obviously concerned. Rosemary's impact on AEDs is metabolism, something about how, the medications actually absorb into the body. So it's bad for your liver too. It makes the medications more toxic to your liver when you use the rosemary. But the thing is too, a lot of people start with the rosemary on, a regular basis because it's supposed to help your memory. A lot of people rely on herbs and in particular rosemary for saying that it just kind of helps them keep it together almost as much as B12. But that's, I don't know, to me, when I found that, I said it just made me feel like this shit is rigged. That like something that's good for one thing is going to end up poisoning us more in another aspect. Anybody else ever get that vibe? Something that was working for you but ended up being worse in the long run?
Yep. I'm taking the Motrigine. I feel like it's getting me to a decent. It's got me down to 3 to 5 seizures, but I also have insomnia. So, yeah. Luckily, sleep deprivation has not caused a seizure because I can stay up till sunup and have no problem 2 days in a row. But, yeah, the insomnia fucking sucks. Yeah, I'm usually up just on Reddit or editing videos or listening to TV trying to fall asleep, thinking that something in the background would help me fall asleep. It doesn't usually work, but yeah, insomnia sucks. And also, that story that my mom told is news to me. I did not know that. Makes my story sound so much more worse than I thought it was, but yeah.
But you got to know from the scars on your legs.
I mean, yeah, I
on
have
your
the
leg.
holes here because I remember when they pulled them out, but I didn't remember being in a wheelchair. Like when they pulled it out, they just unscrewed it, and it's like this deep in the skin. And I think my legs were maybe like this big. I'm 5 years old, so you can feel it screwing it. It's 2 pins, and there's a bar. Those 2 pins hold that bar because the top of the femur was broken too. So it was broke like around the knee and around the hip. So both of the pins were to make the bone fully get back to one. And yeah, just had to go get it cleaned all the time. Sucked.
That must have been absolutely debilitating. And for your 5-year-old self, remembering it from that perspective.
Yeah, I remember her screaming because I'm screaming, and her crying because I'm crying. Me and my mom are really close. Yeah, I was a child, and she just had to watch me go through it, and they didn't want to give me the pain medication because I was little or whatever the case. But I kind of asked that story so I could ask her what was like the first seizure being like, and we didn't get to that part. I wanted to know how it was to see my first seizure, but I'm sure seeing a little kid have that would be kind of rough. I don't think we'll go back that way, but that was rough. All that was news to me. All that was like, what?
Well,
Yeah.
I'm happy she feels free to pop in every now and then or all the time now.
She'll be back today.
There.
I need her for 10 hours.
There we go.
So I got something here. Was anybody else had something to say before I go to the next thing? No?
I was gonna say Depakote sucks in response to the question. It was supposed to help me with my migraine prevention, and then it turned out to be like extreme fatigue and just not worth the trade.
You take any type of vitamins, anything like that?
Yeah, I have a really long list. I probably take like 10 to 20 different supplements a day.
Whatever works for you. But
Yeah.
I take this B12.
I know you said that, and I think that's awesome. That's so helpful
It's
for you.
working, you know. Shout out to Nature's Made.
Yeah.
It's working. Like 5, maybe like 8 weeks ago. I don't know how long it's been, but I haven't had a focal since the day I started taking them. And
That's so
yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
I asked my doctor about taking more of it that I'm already taking. I take a B100 complex, so it's got like 100 milligrams. It's not that much. Don't you take like, what's the dose of yours?
It's 3,000 micrograms extra strength.
Okay, so that's 300 milligrams. So like that's like 3 times as much as I'm taking. So I might try to increase how much I'm taking.
Yeah, I had one person tell me it wasn't working, but then she also told me that she was taking like 6 other types of B12s and different pills. So I was like, basically, you're like overdose on B12. That's why it's not working. But yeah, some of these meds.
Well, I think if you sorry.
I was just gonna say some of these meds deplete our B12, and she was eating a lot of fish to replace B12 and taking supplements, and then saying it doesn't work. And I'm like, yeah, you're 30 micrograms, 30,000 micrograms. Yeah, so it pretty much works if you. For me, know your body. For everyone I've told to take it, they taking it right, but just taking it, not taking other stuff. It's works. Am I right, you guys? I don't want to just say stuff and it's not working for you guys. Okay. See, did you have something? I couldn't see you earlier.
Oh, okay. I gotta go.
Oh, no, you're good.
We say goodbye.
All right.
Bye, Raven.
It was great to meet you. Thanks for
Thank
coming
you.
Bye,
Back
Lynn.
soon, Lynn.
Nice meeting you.
Kate, did you have something, or was I moving forward?
I'll remember later. Oh,
All
the
right.
elevation thing. I did start taking B12 last week, but the only thing that I noticed about the one seizure that I've had since then was last Wednesday, and that was the day after we got to 1,500 feet elevation, and that was leaving like 0 elevation 2 days before. So now looking back at the notes and the timeline, I think we do kind of have reason to analyze that I might have found a trigger. Because after the Smokies, we went down to now we're at like 200 feet elevation, I think, like 6. Yeah, it was 6 in Pennsylvania. Now we're in Appalachia. Okay, yeah. Either way, it's more gradual since last Wednesday. So the only extreme change in elevation, like over 1,000 feet change in 24 hours, I did have a tonic-clonic the next day. So that's one way to figure out a trigger.
And I have to agree with that one because I went from, I don't know what elevation San Diego County is, but I would guess maybe like 800, something like that. All the way up to 4,500 in a day. And then I started having a lot of tonic-clonics and eventually went into status. So yeah, I would say elevation is definitely a trigger.
Yeah, I'm seeing San Diego's under 172 feet is what is the first thing that comes up.
Okay, yeah. So it's a big change.
I can absolutely see like elevation just affect it. I mean, it's kind of like how when it's like a storm coming in, and people's bodies like feel it, like elevation is gonna like affect sort of your mental or like your brain chemistry a little bit. I don't know. It's
Yeah,
it's
I
bound
think
to
it has
happen.
something to do with like the oxygen in your brain and the
Yeah.
pressure because there's a lot of increased pressure with the elevation increases.
Also, I have to give a shout out to Lynn. Like Raven is so lucky to have him. That was beautiful. That his response was so perfect. Love that.
Yeah, I loved his response. It looked like it was news to her, but loved it.
We all
Yeah.
want to Lynn.
So, got something here. It says, moments of sadness. Does anyone else have these sudden moments of sadness? I've started having seizures again after over 2 years. So, years being seizure free. I was driving, living by myself, and just generally living a great and independent life. For no reason this morning, this image popped into my head of when I would used to go to the grocery store and shopping by myself. Then it was nothing. It even seemed like a mission, a chore. Now I wish I could drive down to the shops and buy ingredients for dinner. And I want things just to go back to normal. What do I do with those feelings? I say a good support system is really good. It helped me just having my mother and my son's mom. That's all I really needed. And my kids are great. They're getting older and they know how to do stuff and they say I'm the best dad ever and all that kind of stuff. I love it. So yeah, my mom, my son's mom, and my kids. So they all pump me up about it. Nobody else wants to talk about it. I can laugh with my kids about it. It's amazing. The other teens. So support system. That's what I say for that person. You gotta have a support system, even a little one, even video chat, something. Yeah, because without my mom, I don't know where I'd be not having anyone to talk to on video chat every day. She calls me every day on video. So I do see my mom, but she also 3 hours away. So there's that. But you guys have any suggestions for her to not have these moments of sadness? I think of my mom or I call her.
Yeah, it's just that consistent reassurance. Reminders. It takes a lot of reminding sometimes when you wake up just thinking about all the negative stuff. But if whoever you're worried about actually contacts you and reminds you that you're part of the reason that it's not any worse, you're part of the reason that it makes it better, then that's gotta help. That's definitely important for a lot of the people that support us. That's for sure. That's probably what helped Lynn, part of what helped him admit that what did he say, that thing he said about like not admitting he was wrong, but admitting he like missed something or could have done something differently. That's big. That's something a lot of people can't do.
Yeah, he might have a good night. Anyhow, come on, you guys.
Talk about a good week.
You guys, I forgot the question totally, but
You'll probably find out tomorrow on Femday Wednesday.
so yeah, I won't be there. So moments of sadness, I say just a good support system. You gotta have it, because not being able to call my mom would suck. But that helps sometimes because I do get those moments and I call her and I don't tell her why I'm calling her because it's that moment, but I call her just so I have somebody to talk to. Yeah, you don't always have to let them know you're having a moment. But I move forward. It says, because my epilepsy brain was underdeveloped, so I have a 6-year-old brain, so I can't do stuff like normal people can. So I get mad so people get mad at me for not doing punctuations when I'm talking or writing. But when I say stuff like I have a 6-year-old brain, so I don't understand that kind of stuff, they get mad at me and tell me that's an excuse. I am the only one who has that problem, or does that happen to anyone else? Or does anyone else have similar problem like that? Because I feel like I'm the only person who gets picked on for that or spelling mistake, and I say it's because of my 6-year-old brain, and they get mad. Is it just me? Is the question.
Definitely not just you. I constantly struggle with spelling and just thinking of words in general. I'm better at writing than speaking. Because when I talk, I sound like an idiot.
You sound better than me.
Absolutely. And this is the only place that, I mean, maybe not the only place for everybody, but this is the only place personally where I don't mind just kind of speaking freely, because I know I slow down too much and like start to lose track and maybe venture off into a different subject, but we all do. So it's completely acceptable. And we appreciate you even more for speaking up, because we know how those insecurities can manifest and just make you feel really stupid. I mean,
Has
maybe the
anybody
6-year-old
ever
brain thing isn't a good way to put it, because that might make them feel a little more self-conscious about it. I don't know. I'll try to come up with a different like response or reply.
has anybody ever been asked if they're drunk because they were like they had aphasia or something at the store? Yeah,
Oh
I
yeah.
had that happen. It
Yep.
like set me off. Like I didn't show it to the person. I went, no, I'm fucking seizing, and I paid for my stuff and I left. But I was so pissed about it because it just felt so demeaning. Where I'm like, how dare you think I'm drunk right now? Fuck you.
Yeah, the DoorDash guy who came and delivered my boneless wings this Saturday probably thought I was drunk the way I fumbled to open the deadbolt and had to lean against the door when he handed it to me. He seemed to kind of hesitate and double check that I actually had it, and I don't know. Being a Saturday night too, I'm sure only compounded it. But he didn't say anything though. But I felt I would have assumed I was drunk. I don't think I would have known that a person who looked like I was acting could have been seizing if I had seen that before I started having seizures myself. So, um,
He probably has a story for his friends.
yeah, I
Like,
don't
hey,
know. Maybe someday
delivering
they'll see
food.
this
This one got
podcast and
sloppy drunk.
he'll.
Anybody who has done like Uber Eats or DoorDash, like I have done it on my bike. And everybody who's done it has a story. My funniest was when I delivered one single bottle of lube to 3 women sitting outside a hotel smoking a vape. They were all probably in their mid 50s and they were giggling their asses off as I handed them a single bottle of lube.
You got to tell me they gave you a killer tip.
Was it? No, no. It was like $3-4. It was like, meh, whatever.
They wanted you to stay.
They did
Brandon,
not.
they wanted you to stay.
I did not want to stay.
I forgot what I was gonna say when you said that. They wanted you to stay. I was gonna say, yeah, I've done Uber Eats. My mom isn't here, but yeah, I did it in a car. I didn't do it on a bike. Yeah, I was real ignorant, didn't care about my health earlier in life. Hey, I'm gonna drive. I don't care. I'll get over it. I won't crash, but shit happens. And to the person with said they had 6-year-old brain, I've only got a 6-year-old brain all the time. Sometimes I'm thinking, like, what am I thinking about? And yeah, it's not only you. Sometimes my brain just isn't of age. It's just like, who the fuck am I sometimes? But move forward. Oh. Is this normal? I keep having weird dreams and waking up sore and out of breath. I am really sure if this is anything serious or just anxiety or something else. But I wanted to ask just in case. I was diagnosed with epilepsy before. I had 2 abnormal EEGs and used to have absent seizures. But lately my EEGs have been normal, so they took me off of my meds. And now everyone just acts like I don't have epilepsy anymore. But recently, I've been having these really weird dreams. In my dream, I feel like I'm seizing or like I'm holding my breath, and sometimes I go limp in the dream, but I still can't breathe. Then I'll wake up gasping for air, and my chest hurts like I wasn't breathing right. Sometimes when I wake up, my arms and legs are sore, even though I didn't do anything the day before. It's been happening a lot, and it's starting to scare me. I've also been having what I think might be absent seizures again. I suddenly feel a random memory flash and then deja vu. Then it feels like my stomach drops really hard, but through my whole body. Everything gets fuzzy, like I'm floating, and sometimes I feel like I'm not really there. Afterward, I feel drained and out of it for the rest of the day. And I'll get a really bad headache. I had one of those not too long ago, even though no one saw it. I've also had bad nights where I didn't have that kind of dream, but still woke up feeling like I couldn't breathe or like I'd been holding my breath in my sleep. I don't know if it's seizures, stress, or just in my head, but I'd really appreciate if anyone's going through this or anything like this. I just want to know if this is normal or if I should be worried.
I would say definitely go see a doctor about that and possibly get like a monitor or a camera for your sleep to see what's going on that you don't realize.
Yeah, you might actually be seizing and be aware and think you're dreaming.
And also too, like the feelings like that what they explain kind of sounds like focals.
Yeah, I'm sweating shit talking to mom. Um, yeah. Angel, did you have something? I seen a few mics come unmuted.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say no, I literally lost it. It's gone. Um, yeah, what was that question?
I'm the person about holding their breath.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, that could be either sleep apnea or nocturnal seizures, especially with the history of epilepsy. And as obscure as it may seem
Could be
to
both.
us, a sleep study might be the best place to start because they'll catch something that looks like a seizure in a sleep study. So, and then you'll usually go, but I mean, yeah, it could be either, but with the history of epilepsy, man, definitely. I read another post, that's what it was that made me forget. Somebody said that a professor had said something to them about, I've never heard about epilepsy lasting for life. And I'm like, is this a new thing? Because I want in on that, you know. But with it just made me think about that post. But yeah, I would say get to an epileptologist. Very likely.
And I think that says it all. Putting all the pieces together and using it to make the right choice. So there's another post here that sounded pretty relatable saying, my girlfriend got diagnosed with epilepsy. How can I help? For context, me and my girlfriend are both 18. She has never had a seizure before until yesterday evening. And in the past, she's passed out a lot of times. She went to the doctor, and there are strong signs that she is epileptic. I was looking for any kind of advice on how to look after her and support her, and any tricks on what to do to keep her safe if she has a seizure. Also, going into the future with marriage and building a life together, how can I make arrangements to make life easier for her? Thank you all. I appreciate any kind of advice. What do you guys think? Make life easier for a newly diagnosed 18-year-old who has probably been having a lot more seizures than are on record.
I don't think I have the best advice, but okay. If it were me and my girlfriend was asking this question, at 18, I'd kind of tell her, just let my parents worry more about it. Don't worry yourself. We're still children. Nothing you can do. I don't want to traumatize you this early. We'll leave this one, the struggles and all the trauma, let my parents handle this. Don't worry about how you have to come for me. I mean, of course, that feels good because you're the person's significant other. Yeah, help them feel comfortable and all that, but don't exactly worry yourself because kind of is still a child. But I don't know if that's the best advice. Yeah, anybody got anything to say that I'm not having the best advice?
Well, I mean, they are very young, and the whole talk about marriage and stuff. I just want to put it out there, don't get too ahead of yourself because she's going through a lot and she might not want to talk about that kind of stuff because there's a lot of stress going on. So just, you have a lot of love for her, that's obvious, but tone it down just a little bit. But definitely, I mean, you're doing a good thing by being supportive. And just continue doing that. Really, the best thing that you can do as a partner at that age is just to be there for comfort and support while her parents or whoever's taking care of her, is handling the rest. And like help her find places like this. If you're on Reddit already, you could find support groups and communities where she might be able to talk about things and ask questions. And don't get into anything stupid, please. No drinking, no drugs, no partying.
And don't
Especially as a
expect her to
newly.
get knocked up soon.
Exactly, yes. Because there's so much that goes into it. Once you get diagnosed, there's so much that you have to look into. So yeah, just be careful, be smart, and be supportive. But everything else, you don't need to worry about yet.
Especially
The
in the
only
first couple months of seizures starting, you don't know what your triggers are yet, so you can't go like crazy with like you know over over stressing about like, well, watch out because of this, watch out because of this, watch out because of this, because anxiety and stress are also going to be triggers, and if he's freaking out, it's just going to stress his partner out and likely cause a seizure just based on stress. Like, just relax, let me deal with this on my own unless I ask for help.
Yeah, just kind of let it be supportive. I mean, I know again that probably has something to do with age, feeling like you have to be more proactive, have a plan in place and actions to take on a certain timeline to get to this like you're all better goal. Just doesn't work like that.
yeah.
So one
Only
step at a
other
time. Go ahead, Angel.
Yeah, the only other advice I can say is when an actual seizure happens, um, if you don't get I can't think of the word, um, shocked or anything, you know, just be prepared to know what to do, like how to handle when an actual seizure happens, That's all. But other than that, enjoy life, have fun.
Yeah, prepare for life to be much different than you expected in the beginning.
Just be 18, but don't be a stupid 18-year-old.
Right. It's that age, you still haven't even turned to drinking age yet. So, yeah, you can't worry yourself this early. You're still 18. Some people are
Is
much
anybody
more
else
mature at
noticing kind of an
18.
uptick? One thing that I made note of is that it sounds like there's a lot more posts about newly diagnosed cases that I'm seeing on Reddit. You guys think the heat triggers kind of bring out the worst of the seizures that maybe people just can't ignore anymore?
I
Heat-
definitely had. I started in the summer, and it was like after working in the heat, long hours out in the sun, definitely was dehydrated. And I mean, if it was gonna happen, it was definitely gonna be in that situation. So I agree. I think heat might be a trigger, and we're experiencing one of the biggest heat waves, at the moment. So yeah, that's got to be a factor.
Thanks.
Heat has not been a trigger for me. I was going to say luckily, but unfortunately, I have not figured out a trigger yet. I've just been living recklessly trying to figure it out. But yeah, sleep, no eating, no sleep, up all night. None of those things have caused a seizure. Yeah, I don't put myself in stressful situations, so I wouldn't know how that is. I barely listen to people. Yeah, if I don't want to hear you, I've mastered the effect of one ear and out the other. I'm not going to stress myself because of the possibilities that I heard, but I haven't put myself in that position to be that stressed. I talk to you guys, get it off my chest fast.
And we're here for you. So does anybody else notice a difference on longer seizures contributing to, just how you feel afterwards when people aren't around and, we don't have the cameras hooked up or whatever? I noticed that worse headaches and confusion for more than 2 hours is definitely associated with when I brought it up and they could go through the data and say, yeah, this seizure did look like it took a little longer. I'm still not taking detailed notes on what the RNS rep tells me when I go in for these appointments because I'm dedicated to getting access to my own data and being able to see it how they see it eventually. But I do remember bringing up one of the entries that I made saying that I had a way worse headache and I was confused for a lot longer. And they were able to verify that corresponded with what seemed to be a more powerful, I guess, seizure. Saying that like drained the battery some or to some shit. I don't remember how they said it, but it definitely corresponded what I felt. Does anybody else tell how like bad their seizure was just from how they feel after?
Yeah, I can usually guess how long a cluster was based on how I feel because my headache is more severe and my vision's still like super wonky. And I feel like super sore and stiff. And that's usually how I know, because if it goes for like a super long time, then it will be like just about or already did go into a TC. So yeah, I've definitely noted that too.
I can tell the difference usually between I get focals at night when I'm sleeping. So the only way I know really is how I feel when I wake up. And like last night, I had one, but it must have been a minor one because I was kind of fuzzy and out of it for maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours. Where if I have a normal one for me, it's almost a whole day that I feel that.
Yeah, so with mine, I live with my sister, so we kind of don't really talk about it. It's kind of like I wake up at the hospital or on the way to the hospital. She doesn't, I'm not gonna say she does not like to deal with them, but I think it's easier for her just to send me to the hospital. I think maybe she's just like, oh, it's easier just to send him to the hospital. Um, but yeah, my oldest sister, she's always like, okay, yeah, you had a seizure. It was about 8, 9 seconds, stuff like that. But my second oldest sister, I don't think she keeps track of the times. She's probably calling the ambulance when it starts. So yeah, so I haven't been able to count times or anything like that unless I was with my older sister or my mom. A few other people. But yeah, recently being at home having seizures. Not gonna know anything about it. Not gonna talk about it. Get home from the hospital. How you doing? I'm all right. Go to my room. See you tomorrow. So yeah.
Still not considering a camera?
Oh, I got a camera right here. I see it for myself. Yeah, but when you mean like people like kind of telling you how long it was and stuff, I don't get that part. I got to go back and check the camera for the information that I need.
All right. Well, at least you got a way to get it.
All right.
What
Somebody's
is
paying attention.
something?
Let me
Hey,
stop.
what is
Uh,
something that helped you accept your diagnosis? When I heard this or saw this question, my
This thing,
perspective is to see the positives of living, the first 15 years without epilepsy. How much did I actually get to experience and do? Even if I can't remember, I know those experiences still happened. So
yeah,
what is
Kate,
everybody else's perspective?
I don't mean to cut you off, Kate. Mark was just about to say something when you started. You can go ahead, Mark.
No, I mean, it was fine. I was just kind of, I guess, agreeing with everyone else, the sentiment that I can definitely tell how big, how severe something was from the way I feel afterwards. But I also had been living alone. Uh, I owned a home over, just down the road from my, next neighborhood over from my parents, for a while. And, not having any roommates or anything, that time frame is when I really started getting the tonic clonics, and the reason that I am able to tell that is because that's, in retrospect, that's when I remember feeling the big physical symptoms afterwards. But I had no other witnesses or anybody who could attest to, oh, it was however many minutes long or anything. So it just kind of seemed to come out of the blue sometimes. I would just feel like this, and it just did not make any sense at all. Um, but yeah, in a way, it was um, a useful data point to have the physical headache, the headache that severe, that I can remember, 5 distinct times that I had that headache from hell. Um, and yeah, I wouldn't have known how much longer my seizures had been going on, than just the 3 or 4 times that it had most recently been witnessed by somebody, and I had been informed about it. So I guess kind of a weird flip side to the physical is that it can give information that'll fill in the gaps that the memory does not have. when you don't also have somebody around to help you. So that was all.
Kate, what did you have to say? How to get over accepting it and that. I had to accept it. 'Cause I
What
was
is something that helped you accept your diagnosis?
Yeah, mine was basically like get over it. Like I said, I was running around gangbanging, having seizures in the streets with friends, and telling them not to tell my mom. So I was just like, gotta get over it. This is gonna happen. We just gotta figure out how to not let these stories get back home. And yeah. I got one. Oh, it says, has anybody tried CBD oil for epilepsy? My brother is 15. He's been experiencing seizures more frequently lately, and his meds aren't doing him any good, other than making him angry and aggressive. I've come across CBD oils for seizures. Has anyone ever tried it for a seizure in particular? I heard about it. I haven't tried it yet. I think Sia said something about taking CBD. May I be wrong, Sia? I'll ask her when she comes back. I think Anne said something about taking CBD as well.
The Charlotte's Web strain of cannabis that they've been talking about in an episode or a Zoom meeting, like a week, maybe 2 weeks ago, I think was one of the first that was introduced and bred to be a specifically CBD only, like THC free strain. It was bred for this young girl who had a form of juvenile epilepsy that was not responding to any of the medications that they could give her. And I mean, what AEDs that we've been on would you ever wish on little, I forget, I think maybe 6 years old. Annie and Sia are both back, so they can tell the story. Yeah. Charlotte's Web CBD oil.
Right, yeah. She had Dravet syndrome, which is, I think, rare. And she was seizing like uncontrollably every single day. Her mom had tried so many different types of medications and treatment options that the doctors had given her, but nothing seemed to help. And so this was before, it was legalized and everything. And so she had to travel to Colorado to be able to get this strain, and it was bred specifically for this kind of situation, which is why they ended up naming the company Charlotte's Web, because her name was Charlotte Fiji. And Annie knows the story best. So, because I think she said that she knew them, right, Annie?
Yeah, I do. I do know them. It started with Heather Barnes Jackson. Her son, they thought it was Gervais, but it's Deuce, and I don't know the entire definition. And they were getting CBD hemp oil and it was helping, but they needed a higher concentration of CBD. And in the grassroots underground, you start to know people who are growing, who are processing, especially in Colorado. And they met the Stanley brothers, they were agricultural, like fourth generation organic agricultural. So they decided to take it on, and they developed the high CBD strain of Charlotte's Web. And that's where Paige came in with Charlotte she met Heather in a forum, a growers forum that I was in, because I was trying to get these guys. It's like, come on, we need CBD, and you know, but it wasn't that kind of cannabis group. But we still started the medical conversation, and it all came together there at Green Passion. And in fact, this weekend at the new Page branch, at the new yeah, I can't even, we're just calling it Charlotte's Ranch. They're having the pig roast to dedicate the ranch. So, but yeah, Charlotte passed away in 2020. And that was a sad day, but that's how they came together. And I watched Charlotte go from all the pharmaceuticals on oxygen, the whole thing, to starting to have an expression on her face. And she was nonverbal for the most part, but she still said some words. And you know, but she's the poster child for CBD. And I know I've been using since before it was legal. And for some of us, we need the THC along with the CBD, especially when we have, I found for me post-ictal, a decent dose of both will help me recover faster because my muscles hurt, everything hurts, you know, and you know the CBD with the THC helps with that. But yeah, that's kind of how they got together, and this weekend is the dedication for Charlotte's Ranch. So, but it's definitely a consideration. But it sounds like this person needs a medication change. And when people look to cannabis to replace medications, Realm of Caring does not encourage that. There are cannabis supporters who do. It's like, oh, we'll get you off those meds. Well, we can't do that. It's not safe. And we never encourage that. And if this individual is looking to CBD as, you know, the silver bullet, the cure all, it won't be. Nothing really is. But it sounds like a medication change should be first. And then, you know, then maybe, I mean, you can add CBD at any time. And but yeah, contacting Realm of Caring, I got in trouble on the other Reddit for, you know, promoting Realm of Caring because I was promoting cannabis use. And I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm promoting, you know, better quality of life, but I'll stop. You know, so, you know, but Realm of Caring is a great resource. And that all started with Charlotte and Zakai, who is Heather's son. But yeah, definitely CBD. You want CBN in that CBD if you can, because that helps the nervous system. But yeah, great people. And even though Charlotte's gone, she hasn't stopped fighting for us. She was on the front line for Texas. She's on the front line now there's been some changes in the terminologies and the policies for cannabis. And a very good friend of ours in California, one of the largest medical and recreational cannabis growers, had all 4 of their farms raided, and they're legal, and 2 of their people died, and it was all raided by ICE. So, and they're legal farms. So, but they're starting to go after legal farms on federal law. So it's a good time to learn how to grow your own, stock up. I know we'll never give up, but yeah, it's getting kind of dicey out there.
Yeah, my husband said when we get our homestead together, we should add that in.
great idea.
What state are you guys gonna end up in?
We don't know yet.
Yeah, we're planning.
We're still in the planning phase.
The
Oh,
state
that
of
concept is
happiness.
such an appeal.
Yeah, I was just looking at my head, like she was talking. My mom was talking about all the cords coming out of my head. There's a scar right here. There was a tube right here. Well, that's what I was told. So I don't know if you guys can see that. I need to shed some light on the situation.
Oh yeah, I see it.
Yeah. Yeah. CBD. I don't know anything about it, but I suggested it because my friend suggested. I'm trying to get some of myself, so know that. I'm not telling you just because. Then the first comment says, look up Charlotte's Web CBD and the story behind it. I know it's expensive, but I would gladly pay whatever if it worked. Okay. This one says, is it possible for masturbation to cause epilepsy?
I was gonna bring this up on Friday. I saw that too, and I was gonna bring it up, but I was like, no, that's too weird. I'm not gonna bring that up.
Well, I am.
I mean, so I will say, physical activity, and when you masturbate, your heart rate goes up. Just saying.
How would you know? I'm just kidding. Mark, you
I
got
heard
something?
about a TikTok challenge
Oh, okay.
going
Yeah.
on
Okay.
where they had to keep on, and then there was a few kids dying because of it.
What? We'll talk about that later.
Yeah, or the kids would like it was like a knockout challenge, I think is what they called it. The point was to like hyperventilate and then hold their breath the longest until it gets to an altered state of euphoria, apparently briefly, right before you completely pass out. So it was like I don't know, 7, 8-year-olds doing autoerotic asphyxiation without the erotic part, just asphyxiating themselves on the internet. Wow, makes no sense. Kids are dumb.
Yes.
Yeah, subway surfing's no better. What I'm seeing here is that it sounds like that stimuli to cause, actually being a trigger is more common in temporal. Okay, here we go. Right temporal lobe. It says it's especially those with the right temporal lobe focus that it's not necessarily the physical activity, it sounds like, but they call it a reflex seizure. And it's actually got a title of orgasm-induced seizure, saying that that is the specific trigger for that reflex seizure. So I think reflex seizures is like the term that this trigger would fall under.
Okay, I'm gonna
I
read
guess
the
that's
post.
good to know. Good to know.
Right, that is good to know. But I'll read the post. It says, hello everyone. I'm a 34-year-old male, and I have never had a seizure from the day I was born. My family doesn't have a history of seizures. It all started in 2012 when I was 21 years old. I tried masturbation for the first time, and I didn't know the side effects back then. So I was doing it once a day and sometimes once every 2 days. When I turned 28 in 2019, one night I slept and had a seizure, and I woke up with a strange brain. It felt like something happened, but I didn't know what happened or if anything had happened. I was still doing, and I used to have a sleeping seizure every 3 months. One day I had to sleep at my brother's room, and it was so happens I had a seizure that night, and he woke up and saw me jerking and my feet hitting the ground. When I woke up, he told me what he saw. So I used to have seizures during sleep, but since last year, I started to have them while I'm awake. I get the sure error, a for sure aura, and a few seconds later, the seizure starts. When I had a girlfriend, I stopped masturbating and I had no seizures, even though I was having regular sex. But I didn't get a single seizure. It's somehow related to masturbation. Sorry for the long post. I was trying to explain to you because I searched on Google and I couldn't find any connection between seizures and masturbation. Is there any correlation or connection? What do you recommend me do instead? I'm addicted to masturbation and I can't stop it. Thank you to everyone.
He started at 21. What took him so long?
That was my like. I shot back into frame, being like, "Wait, what?"
Well, yeah, right. Who starts at 21?
We're okay. So moving past the funniness of that, because we're not going to judge anyone. We don't know
What do you
their.
suggest?
I got nothing here.
I suggest you find a job where that is something necessary.
Read a book.
Yeah. Yeah. If sex isn't causing the seizures, maybe you should find a job where you're having sex. Because otherwise you're just with yourself and that seems to not work for you. So
I'm wondering what the connection is, though. Like, I mean, obviously that story was a little all over the place, I guess, because like they do have seizures, like despite the masturbation, like during sleep, right? So like that isn't in question. They do have epilepsy. I'm just wondering where the connection would be to like you stopped having sex and because you masturbate, that's what's confusing me. I have no idea.
I think he's like, I replaced masturbation because I'm not having sex anymore. I replaced that with masturbation. Now I'm over here,
I
on the
mean,
floor,
like,
my brother's finding me.
how much is this person like, jerking it, I guess, like if it
Wait,
was
so
like, oh, they're having sex once a day and it's fine, and now they're masturbating like 8 times a day, like, yeah, that's gonna be different.
so the question isn't if the masturbation is causing it, but if going without it is? I'm confused.
Yeah, I think he said like he loves masturbation. What can he do instead? I think that was the question.
I think he said he was addicted.
Yeah, he said he's addicted. So I mean, find something else to do with your cock.
Yeah, I was just questioning. I was just adding more background questions that I needed answers to, I guess.
How
Well,
does he
honestly,
know
they're
that
gonna
it's
have to get some
masturbation?
real.
That's
Go ahead.
I was going to say that they're going to have to get some real evidence. Have one of these seizures occur while you're on an EEG. See if the focal points are corresponding with what's going on, because apparently there's blaming that some seizure disorders can, obviously they say about the PNES, but masturbation, as with any other stimulus, can trigger an episode as a PNES. Like it can be actually like a different kind of seizure than obviously one that's induced by a different trigger. So it sounds rare, but I guess it's known to happen, and they definitely won't be able to get to the bottom of it until they get some kind of evidence.
When he said the thing about how his brother found him, I was thinking that might be like, pre-postictal, because I remember like I was told a story, you just kind of pulled it out and start peeing, just walked right out of the store and just right in front of the door, just pulled it out and start peeing. I don't remember any of that, but that was postictal. I've already had the seizure in the store, and I got up and I don't remember going outside and peeing, but this is the story I'm being told. So, yeah, maybe he was already out of it and postictal and just doing that, and then had the tonic, and then he noticed, or his brother walked in, or whatever the case.
Oh, I thought his brother walked in. Like I thought he said that he was jerking, like having a seizure. I didn't know. Sorry, I missed the part where he was, he was masturbating. I didn't know it was jerking off. Sorry, my bad.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that adds a little more because clearly that was a posticle, but posticle, like act or something.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking. But yeah, like you said, my brother said he woke up and he saw me jerking and my feet were hitting the ground. So yeah.
Oh,
And go
yes.
figure, this Psychology Today article in 2020 is claiming that this is a much more common situation for women.
Hmm.
Yeah, that was apparently a study that actually took place, and curious enough, it's published in Psychology Today, so maybe they're trying to, on the download call it PNES.
I'm going to touch on a few of these comments. Yeah, someone said, no, it isn't. Sorry for being so blunt, but this is perilously close to calling seizures devil-like manifestations. No, it is impossible that there is a correlation between wonking and the acquisition of epilepsy. For the strength of correlation, you may as well say becoming 21 causes epilepsy, or being alive, or trying an avocado, or going to a friend's wedding. The person responded, I didn't mention the age to establish a connection between masturbation and epilepsy. I was just telling the whole story. I once stopped masturbation for 6 months and I hadn't had a seizure, but when I went back to masturbation, it started to come back. Someone else said, no, it's not possible for masturbation to cause you to have seizures, but you can go blind.
Wait, yeah, this person said that they had never had a seizure before, so they're not diagnosed. Is that what people are assuming in the comments? Because that's what it sounds like.
From the post, I think he was diagnosed, but then I think the jerking just I guess he said that got out of hand, so I guess he was doing something. This is a nice time to move forward.
Hey guys, this is my dad.
Hi, Mark's dad.
Hi.
My name's Greg.
I'm
Just
the
Greg,
hero.
not Greg. Hello, guys. I appreciate your time and energy and sharing together. I think it's been really great for Mark.
I love
We all
it.
appreciate that.
We're glad to be here for him.
Yeah.
You're the reason I have nanny cam footage of my most recent seizure.
Yeah. That was pretty intense. I'm
Yeah,
glad I was here.
I
Did
started
you get a
this.
chance to
It
read
helped
Mark's
me.
post?
Of course.
That was
He wants
brilliant.
me to do my account for it next because I spent probably an hour and a half with him so I'm gonna try to, yeah.
Oh, okay. Perfect time to kick in.
See? I remember I came in here about 9:45, and at 11 o'clock my alarm went off because I had to take some eye drops, and I told Mark, oh, I got to get my eye drops. It's 11 o'clock. He couldn't believe it. So yeah, then I came back in here and we spent a while. So yeah, I was here for an hour and a half.
Cool.
So
I didn't remember that much. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what I thought. That maybe you just spent 20, 30 minutes here or something. I'm not sure.
yeah,
I didn't.
we talked about a lot of things. I was just trying to be here with him. I didn't want to
Truth
leave him
serum
until.
straight up the nose.
Well, I didn't want to leave until I knew he was stable and safe and ready, you know? For probably an hour, he was talking like he was totally drunk, you know, just slurred and he couldn't come up with words and stuff. And we talked about his cactus plants, his plants outside, and his plans to get a desk in here and moving furniture around and, you know, just everything, what he was feeling. So it was just a really special time, I thought. But a sharing time with him, you know, that's what I meant. But hell of a scary time in the beginning.
Well,
Yeah, he
That
told
still
us about
sounds
the
like you made a
wings.
big
And,
difference.
yeah, he made a big emphasis on those wings every time, the boneless wings.
Yeah.
I've
How
still
much
got them in the fridge. I gotta go eat some.
Getting hungry.
I
Yeah.
almost tripped on them. They were on the floor here till he told me where they were.
Yeah. I
Is
couldn't
it
manage to get them out to the fridge, so all I could do was put them down, but I don't know. I guess I must have known and gone to the door frame specifically to call for you to help
Yeah.
because I wouldn't have been continuing to try to carry the wings out around the door.
He was holding on to the door frame when he called me. And I was in the other room. The TV was turned low, but I had headphones on, so I didn't hear him at first. And then once I did, I just ran in here and just had to bear hug him and back him up across the room to get him to lie down on the bed and just, you know, try to get him calm. But he was,
He had to convince me to let go of the door frame first.
yeah.
That was, I told him that was like a trust fall exercise for me because I was holding on to it and he was trying to get me to
Let go.
let go and walk me backwards through the room so that he could lay me down with my back onto the bed. So I was like going backwards into his arms, even though we were, bear hugging. But that was, yeah,
Those scary
it
moments.
was intense.
Yeah. After
is
I
it
gave him the shot in the nose, it didn't take long before his moaning and calling and stressing calmed down. And then a little bit after that, then you had a couple of Klonopin, and we had to find them. They were in a box on the floor here, so he was trying to tell me where they were, and then he was able to just, calmly talk. I know he was still out of it, but hold on.
Poofy,
Cat
Poofy's eating Kitty's dinner.
cat food management. So, but it was, yeah, I've been thinking about it a lot. I know I need to sit down and spend some time writing what I recall. for
Yeah,
that
he's
time.
he's clearly got pieces that I don't.
Yeah.
is it weird sort of seeing like obviously like you and Mark clearly have like a great relationship, so like there's no reason why he wouldn't be open with you. But like is it weird sort of getting uh Posticle like pure unfiltered Mark, you know what I mean? Where like you like it's anything that comes to his brain is going to be said.
What I always say is Mark has days where he has no words, and then he has days where he won't stop talking. And so sometimes we just have to go with the stream of consciousness of what he's got on his mind. So, now that I was pointing to the bed there, that experience was different because I could tell he was not fully with it, and he was trying to process what just happened as well. So, but I know Mark opens up a lot more with my wife, his mom, and he and I kind of do things together, but he really shares his deeper feelings more with her because she was his homeschool mom, you know, so that's what I think. So we definitely, she and I have a different relationship with Mark. You know, do you agree?
Yeah, yeah, he got a little more honesty than he normally would, I think. Maybe it might be a way to put it, or a little less of a filter, but
Yeah, that's why I
yeah.
asked. Yeah.
But I mean, I did just trust fall into his bear hug, so that was a bonding
Yeah,
moment
yeah,
for sure.
for sure.
That, and I remember that too, so that's,
That's different than the other seizures you've had here, which
yeah.
you were totally unaware of anything that happened. So that was a different thing. I didn't even know he was having one. I was watching TV and Mark came in and played with the cat a little bit. And then he sat down on the chair. He had turned on the front porch light, so I knew he had some food being delivered. So I didn't think anything of it. He didn't really get my attention or tell me, hey, I'm having problems here. And then he went and got his food from the door. And the next thing I heard several minutes later was he was yelling for help. So it was kind of a big surprise to me that I kind of say to myself I should have stopped the show and talked to him a little bit, but you know I just figured he was in the family room waiting for the food delivery, you know, not really there to talk, but to play with one of the cats. So, right? Is that what you're thinking?
Yeah, I mean, he would have had absolutely no reason to think anything of it. And I wasn't even really thinking that I was having a seizure yet at that point. So it, yeah, I don't think you should kick yourself at all if that's what you're thinking.
Whatever. It worked out. I was glad I was here for you. If it had been 20 minutes later, I might have gone to bed and he would have been stranded. You know, that scares me more than anything. You know, that we need to be here for him. And what could have happened if that was the case? I was just staying up later than my wife to watch a show. And when I came in here, I didn't know if I should call 911. I didn't want to leave him to go wake up my wife to get her in here because she goes with him to the neurologist. I don't. So I wasn't sure what to do other than to just get him flat and get him in the bed and try to get him to calm down and give him the shot. Once that happened, I could see we had turned the corner and he was settling down. And then I just wanted to stay there with him until he was ready for me to go. So I was just glad I was here for him.
Glad you were here for him too. He's great. I'm glad he comes.
Yeah. I'll let you guys get back to it. Nice chatting with you guys. God bless.
Oh, you could stay if you like. We got some stuff you can watch us go through.
I need to go do something. I'll come back. My wife's getting ready for bed, so I go tuck her in, then I'll come back.
Okay.
Actually, I'm gonna use that as my segue. I'm gonna head out. I'm super tired. Everybody have a wonderful and have a great rest of your week until Friday.
Bye, Brandon.
Hi,
And
Brandon.
Oh, Scopri got another one.
So this one says catamenial medications. What does everyone take and what is your pattern? I have an appointment with my neurologist and I don't know what benzodiazepine I should be suggesting. Yes, I have to do this, but at least he listens. Anyhow, I have a pattern of 4 days where I have one or more focal seizures every month. I don't know what a catamenial medication is.
I think she is talking about catamenial epilepsy, but probably thinking that there's specific medications used for that. But I don't think that they really have any specific treatments for that other than hormonal birth control. So benzodiazepines, whatever your neurologist thinks is best for your situation. If you're having clusters or if you're not having clusters, nocturnals, stuff like that, then they're going to suggest something to you versus you suggesting something to them. Because there's a lot that you would have to research into because there's so many different types of benzos used, that you probably wouldn't really know where to start.
So is that more along the lines of like go down the list and just kind of figure out what's worth the risk? Like side effects versus benefit kind of thing?
Yeah, I'd figure as much. Like
Okay.
if you have like a past history of like psychological issues, if you have heart issues, if you have just basically any kind of comorbidities, because benzos can affect different aspects of your body. Like Ativan slows down your heart rate, and they gave that to me for anxiety. Even though I don't really have an issue with anxiety, and it slowed my heart rate down way too much to the point where I was breathing less than typical. So that one isn't the greatest for me.
So overall, the benzos seem like they have more short-term side effects of like the drowsiness and dizziness and like the more noticeable short-term side effects compared to AEDs. What do you guys know about that from your medical experience?
Being that I am on one, the Klonopin goes straight through the central nervous system. Like it definitely does, but there's after what Sailor Mom said, there's history with benzos being tied to dementia. So
What's up, sister?
This reminds me of, I'm sorry, as soon as you said Klonopin, I don't think I'm supposed to be on those. Maybe, I don't know. Whatever Klonopin's area is, I can't take any of its family because I have an adverse reaction. I get super high. And those of you that know me know I am hyperactive when I'm already hyperactive. So, okay, so that is a benzo. Yeah, it's different reactions. I've had it done to me. Wow. I've had it twice in my life. Once when I was in high school, when it was prescribed for my panic attacks. My dad got a call from the nurse, and he tells the story of me sitting in the background saying, "Hi, Abba, I love you, Abba. Can we go get ice cream?" Yeah. And also the desk bit me. Yeah. Second time I was an adult. I was out in Nevada. And I had to get the phone taken away from me because I was texting my stepdaughter and my dad that the birds are coming after them. It's the birds. It's just does not do good for my particular mind's sake. Never been on it since and never will again. I think the prospect scares me so much. I mean, it's funny afterwards. I just don't want to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That doesn't sound like Klonopin, but I don't know. It affects everybody differently, I guess.
I haven't taken Klonopin yet. I've taken what they prescribed. Yeah.
Cycles are supposed to slow down everything.
This might be a dumb question, it might not, but I believe I heard the word catamenial before, but I do not know what it means at all. I think she
It's
said catamenial seizures, I believe I heard her say.
Hormone related.
Hormone.
Yeah.
Hormone. Okay. For females.
Yeah.
Can we have catamenial? We have hormones. You're on mute.
It's for catamenial is like the base term I think is connected to the menstrual cycle, so I think it's female related.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. The first comment says, I had a neuro that gave me a low dose of lorazepam and to take at bedtime during the week. I usually have an increase, worked then pretty well. It was in addition to other meds, but only used during that time of the month. Okay. Someone else said, I take high estrogen birth control, and this helped a lot. Regular kind did not. I skipped the placebo, placebo week and take it straight through so my hormone levels don't fluctuate. Then the person writing this said, I'm also on a birth control pill and skipping the placebo week for another condition. I don't know what placebo is, but we can move forward.
It's a fake pill that you take to continue the medication, but it gives you a break to continue menstruating.
Would I be wrong to say that was still confusing?
Just think water pill. One, you got your meds, and then you got the placebo. The meds is the drugs. The placebo is like water.
Okay.
And you're not wrong for being confused.
A lot of time those placebo pills are used for vitamins. At least that's what I remember an OB. You know what? That was a long time ago. Never mind. I don't know if I have good information.
Think of the drug trials, Pookie, where half the people get the real drug they're working on, and half the people get just a placebo that does nothing.
Discovery.
Is that what they call the placebo effect?
Yeah.
Well, no. It was very visible that I was on the placebo. But then when I was given the real stuff, it was you could definitely tell the difference.
That's the term placebo effect. You know, your condition, everything just keeps getting worse.
Okay, I got something here, ladies and gentlemen. It says, can you tell the difference between a panic attack and aura? Can you tell the difference between a panic attack and an aura? They both feel pretty much the same to me. I've had pretty bad anxiety most of my life and had a lot of panic episodes before and developed epilepsy. I thought they were all panic attacks until my husband started telling me that I was having focal seizures about half of the times. Half of the time I felt like I'm having a panic attack. I'm on 500 milligrams of lamotrigine as my main med, then started taking clonazepam. Whenever I have a panic attack or an aura feeling, it goes away and I'm fine. But since clonazepam doubles for anxiety as an anticonvulsant, I don't know which I'm treating when I take it. I didn't go through the phase of panic attacks and being told that it's a panic attack and not or an aura, stuff like that. Can anybody else explain? I think Mark had something to say about that. He said he couldn't, sometimes you can't tell the difference of panic attack and an aura. I don't have auras. Anybody have a story about an aura?
Go ahead,
Toaster, go
Toaster.
ahead.
Okay. So the difference, at least for me, because again, panic attacks show differently in everybody. The fear is different between a panic attack and an aura. Panic attack is, oh my fucking God, get out of here, run. A aura is the weight has just dumped on you so much and has started tightening so badly that there is going nowhere except for down. That's the difference for me.
Okay. Yeah. I don't get the auras, but that is very interesting to hear. So if I do, I know what it is.
I also much rather just have a blackout seizure than those damn things. I really do.
First comment says, I have both, but my auras feel nothing like my panic attacks. I think this might be something you bring up with your neurologist. You could also be throwing yourself into seizures by having panic attacks. If stress is a trigger for you, if you can, pay attention to each feeling from physical to emotional next time. And either your husband write it down or you take notes in your phone, if at all possible. Someone else said, my panic attacks don't include deja vus or the other vu. I don't know how to pronounce that. That's how I tell the difference.
Jamis vu.
Jamis vu. Okay.
Isn't there
Panic attacks
another
don't include
vu,
deja vu or
though?
Jamis vu.
Deja vu.
Is just Jamis vu the same thing, basically?
Deja vu is this has happened before. Jamis vu is this will happen again. And deja vu is I've dreamed this before.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was gonna ask or try to ask you guys about that. Because I have almost every evening I have these moments or flashes where it's kind of like I get memories of the dream that I had the night before or something. I don't know, or it feels like I remember the dream from the night before, but only like vague glimpses of it. Is that anything that anybody has experienced or heard of?
Me, I have like memories of my dreams and I'm wondering how do I make it happen type shit. Like, that was a good dream and it's so much on my mind. How do I make this happen? It's like that, like you're figuring out how it's gonna happen or when it's gonna happen or if it's gonna happen. Yeah, those are how some of those dreams are.
Like
I
lucid
remember.
dreaming?
Or I can remember a dream from a few days ago and I'm like, oh my goodness, that was a dream. It wasn't real. And now, is it going to happen? Yeah, I have those sometimes. What were you saying?
Well, when um the I don't remember.
We can move forward.
But like you get these, I don't know, you get like glimpses where you feel like you remember this, or like not like this moment that you're in was from the dream the night before, just like sitting and feeling like your memory of like that dream the night before is just as easily recalled as, you know, something from 10 minutes ago, which is a bad example right now because I am medicated. So this is not baseline, but I don't know. I guess from the responses that I'm seeing, it doesn't sound like this dream recall thing is something common.
I've also had dreams that I had a dream, and for a long time I didn't know it was a dream, and I'm explaining the situation to someone, and they're like, "No, bro, that didn't happen. This person never did that, or we never went there." I'm like, "Are you sure?" Like, 'cause I remember, and I'm sitting there like, I remember us going here, but I'm arguing with somebody, and my memory's horrible, so I had to eventually give in. Like, okay, yeah, we haven't been there. You called the man, and he doesn't remember that either. So I was dreaming. And there's stuff like that to where I can't figure out if this was real or was this a dream. I've been through that.
Can also be called false memories, and I have an issue with that as well.
Yeah. And then I heard you say something about lucid dreams.